Hi everyone, today I'm going to be comparing professional grade acrylic paint to inexpensive acrylic paint, and we're going to see if there's really any difference. Okay, so final thoughts. On this side, we use Artist Loft. On this side, we use Liquitex. Artist Loft, I was really not impressed. The paint was very liquidy. It was very watery. It did not spread very well. The mixing, you can see here, it didn't mix well. It didn't spread well either. You can see that there's a lot more opaqueness here and in these areas here and here and here and here, because it was so watery and it wasn't spreading. So every time I would put my brush down to go over it, I was creating these water marks. And when we were doing this, I actually was going over this. I had to go over this part several times because the paint was just so thin. It actually made like a bubble, like the whole pad was kind of bubbling up right here because there was so much water. I was actually kind of afraid we were going to go through it. The paint is also not very thick. I will say on this side, like, I do use a heavy body acrylic, but even a Liquitex basic acrylic, it still does cover. Like, you can still see the pencil line very clearly right here where I split the page. And we'll take a shot from right here in a second. You can see where I had to really build this up so that I could cover even that line. And it still didn't do that great of a job. It's not a seamless transition from one side to the other. The colors were also just very, very different. So you can see here, like the blues especially were very, very different. So this was their phthalo blue. and it looks like that. And this is the Liquitex Phthalo Blue. But you can see they're just not the same. That made the colors different when I mixed them. I tried to mix in the same ratio on both sides, each color, so that I could really see the difference. So this was a cadmium light hue, and this is a cadmium medium. And so these two made it very different. This is a cadmium red hue versus a crimson. And I don't have a cadmium red. I used to, but I don't. Now, do I think that Artist Loft is bad? No, I don't. I do think that if you are practicing painting, or if you're a beginner painter and you want to start off somewhere and you don't want to spend as much money, I think that Artist Loft could be a good choice. Also, if you're doing lighter paintings, like maybe you're just painting onto paper instead of canvas, I think that Artist Loft could be really good. But if you are a more experienced painter, or you're somebody who likes to paint a little bit thicker, or likes to build texture instead of creating smooth surface paintings, then I would suggest going with something heavier, and I would not suggest this brand. Overall, I don't think it did too terrible. Personally, I did not like it for my style of painting that I do, but it wasn't awful. I mean, I don't think the flower looks too terrible. I just think that it took a lot to get it to this point versus how much effort it took me to get this side to where I wanted it to be. So I've always used Liquitex, very faithful to their brand. I really don't have much bad to say about them, but I'm also very biased here. They're my favorite. I think they're great at building texture. I think they're great for mixing. I think they're great for color accurateness, and I will always support them. Anybody want to give me another brand to go up against with Liquitex, I'll definitely do it. But Artist Loft, so sorry, you have not changed my mind.
All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to see more. We post new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. Follow us on all the social media accounts listed in the description below. And we will see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.